Today we are going to talk about the types of line in drawing, or the different ways to draw. The first way, or kind of technique of drawing, is contour drawing. A contour drawing is a drawing to emphasize the mass and volume of the subject matter rather than the detail. The focus is on the outlined shape of the subject and not the minor details. Contour is really talking about an outline or the outside of something. The illusion of 3D form, space, and distance can be shown in a contour drawing through the use of varied line weights, like dark lines, lighter lines, thick lines, thin lines, where darker lines are in the foreground with paler lines in the distance, and by using perspective. Here are some examples of contour line drawing. On the left, you see the pile of shoes, and on the right, you see a single sneaker. You can see that on the left, the artist created some kind of depth or shadow by using thick lines. On the right, they used a variety of lines as well as some hatching to kind of show value without actually shading anything in. The second kind of line drawing is blind contour drawing. So blind contour drawing contains lines that are made without ever looking at the paper. So literally blind. You do not look at the paper when you draw a blind contour drawing. This forces you to study a scene closely, observing every shape and edge with your eyes. But rather, the aim is not to produce a great drawing here. The aim is to strengthen the connection between your eyes and then your hand and your brain. And it's a reminder that when you're drawing, you must first learn to see. If we were in the classroom, I would tell you over and over and over and over again to draw what you see, not what you think something is supposed to look like. Okay, so the goal is always to draw what you see, and blind contour drawing is a great exercise to practice that. So here are some blind contour drawings. You can see that these drawings are not beautiful. On the left, you have a pair of sneakers. You can kind of make out that they might have been a pair of Nikes. You can also see all the spots where the artist would have picked up their pencil and kind of started in a new spot. On the right, I'm guessing that this was a vase of flowers. But again, they're drawing what they see. They're literally tracing the outline or the contour of their object with their eye and moving their pencil at the same pace that they move their eye. The next one is continuous contour drawing. Continuous contour drawing. So think about what those words mean, continuous and contour. So a continuous contour drawing is produced without ever lifting the drawing instrument from the page. In addition to outlines and internal shapes, the pencil must move back and forth across the surface of the paper with lines doubling back on each other so that the drawing is one free-flowing, unbroken line. These tend to look a little bit crazy because you're not lifting your pencil up off the paper at all. So on the left, you see probably a continuous blind contour drawing. So you can see there's a mark for the starting line and a mark for the finish line. And the artist would have traced the outline of their hand or the hand that they're looking at with their eyes and moved their pencil at the same pace without ever picking up their pencil. On the right, you have a little bit more legible drawing. It's a little bit easier to understand, but that would be a continuous contour drawing where it's drawing the contours or the outlines or the lines that the artist sees without ever picking up the pencil. Next is gesture drawing. This is something that we don't practice a lot in Art 1, but gesture drawing is completed quickly. This is a quick kind of warm-up exercise. Often we would do this in short timed durations using fast expressive lines. So when I was in college, we'd often warm up with 10-second gesture drawings, 30-second gesture drawings, a minute. You don't usually draw a gesture drawing for more than a minute and a half or 2 minutes. This captures the basic forms and proportions of the object that you're drawing. The emotion and the essence of a subject can also be captured with gesture drawing without focusing on detail. So a lot of times this will be for figure drawing or pictures of people. This is a great way to record movement and action as well as increase your drawing speed, confidence, and intuitive mark making skills. So here's some examples of gesture drawings. So on the left, you have an example of a 10-second drawing, a 30-second drawing, and a 2-minute drawing. So you can see the level of detail. All the way to the left, that 10-second drawing, you still know it's a human figure. And you can kind of assume what kind of position or posture that person might be in, but there's not a lot of detail. And you kind of move, as you move to the right and add more time to the drawing, you can see a little bit more of the detail in the form. On the right, this would probably be a quick 60-second gesture drawing. You can see just kind of the general outline and what that person is doing, but there's not much detail, and that's kind of intended. Next is cross contour drawing. So cross contour drawing is a contour drawing, so the outline of something, but inside that contour drawing, there are kind of cross contours. So this contains parallel lines that run across the surface of an object, such as those that appear on a topographical map or a digital wireframe. Typically, the contours follow the rules of perspective, with lines drawn closer together in the distance and further apart in the foreground. And in this type of drawing, the illusion of volume is created entirely with lines. So there's no shading in cross contour drawing. It's still all lines. So here's some examples of that. On the left, you see the banana. On the right, you see the hand. You can see those cross contour lines kind of helping to show some of the volume or the form of that drawing without adding any value or shading or color. Number 6 is something I don't talk about super frequently with my classes, but it's something that I practice in college as well. You're going to find it in any good foundational drawing course. And this is planar analysis drawing. So planar analysis drawing simplifies complex curved surfaces into flat planes using straight lines. So it's kind of like if I were asking you to build something out of paper or cardboard and you only had a flat surface to work with, how would you kind of construct that? So this technique helps artists to think about the underlying structure of objects and results in an analytical drawing that is rather mechanical in appearance. So here's 2 examples. On the left, you have a whole little crew of cats there, and you can see the planes of those drawings, those flat kind of angular planes that are constructing the shapes or the forms. And on the right, you have a portrait. So you can kind of see by using the angular lines and the planes, you can see what is kind of intended to be pushed forward and what's meant to be in the background a little bit. And this is another way that you would use perspective. So your practice for today, you are going to pick 3 objects from home to draw today. Pick something kind of interesting like Funko Pop figures or like toys or household objects like utensils, something that's a little bit more interesting to draw than just like your cell phone or a pencil. Those things aren't really great choices. So pick 3 interesting objects today to draw. You're going to watch this video and she's going to tell you how to complete blind contour drawing. Blind contour is what you're practicing today. You're going to complete 1 blind contour drawing for each of your 3 objects for a total of 3 complete drawings. This can be on any paper you can find at home. I know some of you only have lined paper, some of you might have scrap white paper, some of you have construction paper. Whatever paper you can find today to use is totally fine with me. If you've got plain paper, awesome. If it's got to be lined paper, it's got to be lined paper. I understand. So you're going to complete 1 blind contour drawing for each item. Remember, that means you're not looking at the page when you are doing your blind contour drawing. When you're done, you're going to photograph your work and turn it in on the worksheet posted in Google Classroom. So if that means you need to hold up the picture and take a picture of it with your webcam, perfect. If you have a cell phone, you can take a picture of your work that way and insert it into the Google Doc. Otherwise, you can use a scanner if you have access to a scanner at home. However, you can get an image of your work into that turn-in document is a-okay with me. So you're going to make sure you turn in all 3 of your drawings. The worksheet's going to be posted in Google Classroom. If you have any questions or concerns about this assignment, please feel free to reach out during my office hours. You can find me by email. You can get a hold of me through Google Classroom. However you can figure out to get a hold of me, I will happily answer you guys. Good luck, have fun, and remember, this is blind contour. You should not be looking at your paper when you draw. It's okay if it looks a little crazy. Have fun with it and happy practicing.